I need a mother for my sons, and you need shelter.
The wind cut through the Wyoming Valley like a blade the night Elizabeth Hartley lost everything. Snow pressed against the windows of the one-room schoolhouse she had fought so hard to keep open, rattling the frame as if the storm itself wanted her gone. The trustees had decided that very morning, funding withdrawn, attendance too low, the town struggling after 2 harsh winters. She was dismissed with apologies but no solutions. No savings, no family nearby, no place to go once the schoolhouse closed. Elizabeth packed her books with numb fingers. She had arrived in this valley with nothing but a teaching certificate and impossible optimism. She believed education could soften even the hardest soil. Instead, the soil had swallowed her hope whole. A sudden pounding on the door made her jump. 3 sharp knocks. Heavy, authoritative. She knew that knock. Daniel Callahan never waited politely. When she opened the door, wind and snow surged in around him. He stood tall, broad-shouldered, wrapped in a long, dark coat dusted white, hat low over striking grey eyes that had seen too much loss for a man not yet 40, the richest rancher in 3 counties, owner of more land than some towns, feared in negotiations, respected in crisis, and widowed for nearly 3 years. Behind him, in the distance, lantern light flickered from a waiting carriage. "I won't take much of your time, Miss Hartley," he said, voice steady but rough from cold. "May I come in?" She hesitated. Everyone in town knew Daniel Callahan did nothing without reason. He stepped inside, closed the door against the storm, and removed his gloves slowly. Snow melted along his shoulders. For a moment, neither spoke. "I heard the trustees made their decision." "Yes." She kept her chin high. "It's final." He looked around the room. Chalkboards, slates, tiny desks crafted by hand. "You don't have family nearby?" "No." "You don't have savings?" Her silence answered for her. He took a slow breath, as if steadying himself before jumping off a cliff. "I'm not here to offer charity." Her spine stiffened. "Then what are you offering?" He looked directly at her now, not as the town's schoolteacher, not as someone beneath him in status, but as a woman standing on the edge of ruin. "I need a mother for my sons, and you need shelter." Silence slammed between them. "You cannot be serious!" "I have 2 boys," he continued evenly. "Thomas is 8, Samuel is 6. Since their mother died, they have become," his jaw tightened, wild, angry, silent when they shouldn't be, and violent when they shouldn't be. They need structure. They need kindness. They need someone who understands discipline without cruelty. "And you thought of me." "I've watched you with every child in this valley," he said. "You see them. Not just their behavior, you see what's beneath it." She swallowed. "This isn't romantic," he added. "This is practical. Marriage," she whispered, "is not practical. It can be." The storm howled outside. "You would have your own room, your own space, full authority over the household and children, financial security, protection, respect. And in return, you would be their mother." The words echoed. Elizabeth's life had never included marriage proposals delivered like business contracts. Yet beneath his steady voice, she saw something unexpected: desperation. Not for himself, for his sons. "You don't love me," she said quietly. "No," he answered honestly. Her heart strangely softened at that. No false promises, no sugar-coated lies. "And you don't love me," he added. "No." "Then we begin equally." Her throat tightened as she looked around the schoolhouse one last time. By tomorrow, she would have nowhere warm to sleep. Pride did not light fires. "When?" she asked. "Tonight. The storm will worsen." Her pulse thundered. She stepped forward. "I will do it," she said softly. "But understand this, Mr. Callahan, I will not be ornamental. I will not be ignored. If I am to mother your sons, I will truly mother them." Something flickered in his eyes, surprise, perhaps even relief. "I would expect nothing less." And just like that, Elizabeth Hartley stepped into a marriage forged by necessity, unaware that the storm outside would be nothing compared to the storm waiting inside the Callahan household. Callahan Ranch stood like a fortress against the snow-covered plains. Massive, impressive, isolated. The boys were awake when they arrived. Thomas stood at the top of the staircase, already tall for 8, chin lifted in defiance. Samuel hid partially behind him, dark curls messy, eyes guarded. Daniel removed his coat. "Boys, this is Miss Hartley. She ain't our teacher." Thomas muttered. "No," Daniel replied. "She is your mother now." The word detonated. Samuel ran upstairs immediately. Thomas didn't move. "You can't just replace her," he said. "I'm not replacing anyone," Elizabeth answered gently. "Your mother is yours forever. I am simply here." Thomas studied her like she was an invading army. "You won't last." The challenge was clear. The first week proved him nearly right. Thomas refused lessons, broke a window during a tantrum, locked Samuel in the barn for crying too much. Samuel wet the bed twice and wouldn't speak to her at all. Servants watched quietly, clearly expecting her to quit. Daniel remained distant but observant. He never interfered, not once. On the 5th night, Elizabeth found Thomas sitting alone in the stable long after dark. "You hate me," she said gently. He glared. "You're not her." "No, I am not." Silence. "She sang to us," he whispered. Elizabeth's heart cracked open. "What did she sing?" He shrugged. "Then perhaps," Elizabeth said softly, sitting beside him in the straw, "you can teach me." That night, Thomas hummed through tears. Elizabeth memorized every note. The next evening, she sang it back to Samuel when thunder frightened him. The house shifted after that, not quickly, not easily, but slowly. She introduced morning reading hour, family dinners without servants, chores done together, consequences delivered calmly but firmly. When Thomas attempted another tantrum, she didn't shout. She handed him a shovel. "We build strength through work," she said. Daniel watched from the doorway, astonished. By spring, laughter returned to rooms that had been silent for years. Samuel began calling her ma'am, instead of nothing at all. Thomas asked if she would attend his first riding competition. She did, proudly, but something deeper began shifting too. Daniel found himself lingering longer at dinner, listening more closely to her voice, noticing the way she pushed stray strands of hair behind her ear when reading. She was not ornamental. She was formidable, and that terrified him more than anything. Months passed. The valley whispered. Some said she married for money. Some said he married for convenience. No one understood the quiet transformation inside Callahan Ranch. One evening, after the boys had fallen asleep, Daniel found her in the library, reading by lamplight. "You've changed this house," he said. She closed her book slowly. "No," she corrected. "The house wanted to live again. It simply needed permission." He stepped closer. "You've changed me." The words seemed to surprise him as much as her. "How?" she asked. "I no longer dread coming home." The admission hung heavy between them. Their marriage had been respectful, cordial, structured, but something was unfolding neither had planned. "You once said this was practical," she murmured. "Yes." "And now?" He reached out, brushing his fingers lightly against her hand. "A question." "Now," he said quietly, "I cannot imagine this ranch without you." The wind howled outside again, not violent this time, but steady. She stood, moved closer. "For a man who claims practicality," she whispered, "you are standing very close." "And for a woman who married for shelter," he murmured back, "you seem very determined to stay." Her laugh was soft, the first truly unguarded sound he had heard from her. And when he kissed her, it was not desperate, not forceful, not contractual, it was slow, earned. Outside, the plain stretched wide and endless. Inside, something far rarer had taken root. Not rescue, not obligation. Love. And though neither of them had intended it, the proposal born from necessity had become something neither wealth nor shelter could buy. A family, rebuilt not by replacing what was lost, but by choosing every single day to stay.